This is Fitness Blenders Quick Cardio, Abs and Obliques Workout. In this routine, we're going to do 1 minute of a core exercise, followed by a 1 minute interval of cardio. It's going to take us about 10 minutes total to get through all of these exercises, and you're not going to need any equipment for this routine. Let's go ahead and get this workout started with our first exercise, the static squat torso twist. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Go ahead and drop down into a half or a quarter squat and rotate those shoulders back and forth, trying to keep those hips stationary while still rotating those shoulders as much as you possibly can. You want to try to get as much range of motion left to right as possible without letting those hips twist. Try to get a really nice tight squeeze on those obliques every single time you rotate, at the same time as trying to get a really quick rotation. You don't want to be out of control, but you do want to move with a little bit of speed. And that's about halfway right there. Check those legs, make sure those hips are still nice and low. You're still down on that half or quarter squat. As those legs get tired, those hips are going to start coming up. You're going to end up with almost a full extension on that leg. So always try to keep those hips nice and low. And as I said before, try to rotate those shoulders as much as you can without letting those hips move much at all. And we're almost done, just 5 seconds left. Keep that motion going, keep those hips nice and low, abs nice and tight, and let it relax. All right, let's go and move into that cardio section. We're going to be doing jumping oblique twist. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. So with this motion, you're doing that oblique twist again. This time you're going to be jumping and you're actually going to want to move those hips as much as you can. The only difference is you want to actually move those hips in the opposite direction that you move those shoulders. So if you twist those shoulders to the left, you actually want to twist your hips to the right. So just keep alternating back and forth. Hips go left, shoulders go right. Hips go right, shoulders go left. Just keep alternating back and forth, letting those feet barely touch the ground before you're twisting back the opposite direction. And just 10 seconds left. Make sure you're still jumping with that same intensity. Really nice quick hops, rotating those shoulders and those hips in opposite directions. We're almost done. And go ahead and let it relax. We're going to move to the next exercise, the side hip raise. So go ahead and drop down on the ground, starting on that right side. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Starting up on that right elbow and that right knee, you're going to bring those hips up really nice and high, pressing that right shoulder down towards that right hip. So you want to get a really nice tight squeeze on that oblique, on that bottom side of your body, on that right side of your body. Every single time you lift those hips, you want to pull that shoulder underneath you. Just keep that motion going nice and steady. Get a tight squeeze at the top every single time. Drop those hips back down, but don't let them completely touch. Keep a little bit of a gap before you jump right back into it again. We're almost done. Just about 3 seconds left. Keep it going. And let it relax. Go ahead and switch sides. We're going to do the same exact motion on that opposite side. So on that left side this time, propping yourself up with that left elbow and knee. Bring that hip up really nice and high, dropping that left shoulder down towards that left hip, getting a really nice tight squeeze on that left oblique on the bottom side of that body. Just keep that motion going nice and strong. And we're almost done. Just keep that motion going. You got 5 seconds left. Tight squeeze the top every single time. And let it relax. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next exercise, going back to that jumping oblique twist for that cardio component. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Starting that hopping motion, remember turning those hips and shoulders in opposite directions. When those hips go left, those shoulders go right, and vice versa. Just keep that motion going really nice and quick. You want to barely let those feet touch the ground before you're hopping back in the opposite direction. Make sure you're getting a really tight squeeze on those obliques every single time you rotate those shoulders. You want to make sure that torso, those abdominal muscles, those obliques, and that lower back are all contracted nice and tight. And just 5 seconds left. Keep that motion going nice and quick. And let it relax. All right, let's go and move on to the next exercise, the Russian twist. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Sitting on that tailbone, go ahead and lean back. Keep that back really nice and flat. Use those legs as counterbalance. Kick them out as far as you need to keep yourself from tipping over backwards. Then rotate those shoulders left to right. You want to try to get a really nice range of motion, twisting as far as you possibly can left to right. Only using those shoulders to rotate. Don't swing those arms from side to side. You want to keep those arms right in front of that chest. Now, if you want to make this exercise a little bit more difficult, then go ahead and pick those feet up off the ground and have those legs hovering off the ground. Makes those abdominal muscles have to work a little bit harder, and also engages those hip flexors, the front of that hip, and that quadricep, the top of that thigh, quite a lot more than it's doing right now. And just 15 seconds left. Check your form again. Make sure that back stays nice and flat. As you start getting tired, you're going to want to lean those shoulders forward towards those hips. Try to keep that back as perfectly straight as you can. Chest tilted up towards the ceiling. Rotating left to right as far as you can. And let it relax. All right, let's go and move on to the next exercise. Going back to that cardio component of the jumping oblique twist. Get ready. And begin. Start that hopping motion, twisting those hips and shoulders in opposite directions. Remember, really nice and quick. You want to just barely let those feet touch before you're moving it back in the opposite direction. Just keep that motion going, contracting those abdominal muscles, those obliques, and that lower back, making sure that core is constantly contracted. Everything's really nice and tight. Just keep it going. We're almost done, just 5 seconds left. And let it relax. All right, let's go and move on to the next exercise, the reclined oblique twist. Now this one's a little bit different. We're only going to be doing 30 seconds on each side instead of a minute on each side. Let's go ahead and get ready. And start up, starting with that left leg and right hand. You're going to reach across with that right hand to the outside of that left foot every single time you bring that leg up. So you want to try to keep that leg as straight as you can. Every time that leg comes up, you reach across, getting a nice crunch forward with those abdominal muscles, as well as a rotation with those obliques, twisting that shoulder up, trying to reach to the outside of that foot as best you can. To keep that motion going, nice and slow under control, getting a tight squeeze every single time. Got 5 seconds left, and we're going to switch sides. And go ahead and switch. Bring that right leg up, that left arm comes across this time. Same exact motion, just using that opposite arm and leg. And just 5 seconds left. Keep that motion going. Leg nice and straight. Rotating across. And let it relax. All right, let's go and move on to the next exercise, the jumping oblique again. This is your last exercise and the last cardio component for this routine. Let's go ahead and get ready. And begin. Get those feet moving. Remember, this is your last one, so make sure you're pushing 100%. You never let yourself rest. Keep those core muscles nice and tight. Barely let those feet touch the ground before you're hopping back in the opposite direction. Just keep it going nice and solid the entire time. And that's halfway right there. Keep checking those abdominal muscles, those obliques, and that lower back, all of those core muscles, making sure everything's really nice and tight. You never want to let them relax. Yeah, just 10 seconds left. Keep it going. We're almost done. Make sure those core muscles are contracted. 5 seconds left. and let it relax. All right, good job. This workout is complete. You just finished Fitness Blender's quick cardio abs and obliques workout.